This will unlock the Avs as they are set up perfectly to be dominant, not only for this season, but for many more seasons to come as we move forward year after year in this crazy NHL world. We're going to be taking a look at the lineup of your Colorado Avalanche, every aspect from the forward to the defense to the goaltending, and we're going to be breaking down just why you should be hyped for the next few years of Avalanche hockey. What is up, everybody? It is Avalanche Digest. We're your number one source for all of your Avs news. We bring you the hottest gossip, the newest talking points, and we just love to chat to you guys in this offseason as we get closer and closer to the NHL season started. I cannot wait for one. I am so ready for hockey to be back. So let's just get right into it. But before we do, just want to remind you guys to subscribe so you don't miss a thing coming out of here. And let's get right into it. So this is the jersey lineup, and I love showing the jersey lineup, as you all know. Really, you look at that first line, it's got Nathan MacKinnon on it. Honestly, you could put probably me and some dude that works over at Burger King on it, and you'd be great. We probably all get goals. Honestly, Nathan MacKinnon, one of the best forwards in the NHL, and he's flanked by Martin Necas and Artturi Lehkonen. Both of those guys incredibly capable. We could actually look at these playoff stats, and what I'm showing you right now is pretty relevant. I'll go back to this, but you can see this basically tracks the top lines in the playoffs that played at least 50 minutes together. So remember this from when I get to the second line, but it actually has to play a substantial amount together. And you can also see right here, a little foreshadowing for later, that at number 7, you've got the Kelly, Drury, O'Connor line. But for right now, you look at that Lehkonen, MacKinnon, and Necas line, it is so good and dominant. It was great at creating chances. Really, the story that I'm going to keep repeating is the Avs just couldn't finish in the playoffs. And it was no different from the top line all the way to the fourth line. It was a down the lineup problem. And really, when you run it back with this lineup, as Joe Sakic and Chris MacFarland have stated, they were kind of shocked in their exit interview. And they say, if we could run it back with this same team, we would. And you pretty much are, at least for the top 6 and for most of the bottom 6 forwards. So as you get into it, let's actually kind of look at that second line. I mean, it is beautiful. I think the shortest guy on this line is Gabe Landeskog at 6'2". Everyone else is so meaty and just great forecheckers. And I didn't show it on that chart, but actually this was also one of the best lines in the playoffs. They didn't play 50 minutes together, which is why you didn't see it on that graph, but they were still incredibly dominant as a group together. And I'm excited to see what they can really do, especially if obviously the top pairing of Cale Makar and Devon Taves probably won't see a lot of ice time with the second line, but guys like Manson, guys like Brent Burns, playing with an offensive group like this, you could really see some good production from your other pieces in your lineup, which is something that we like to call depth. So I'm really excited. This top 6 is perfect. It was perfect ever since they re-signed Brock Nelson. But now we get into the bottom 6. And I feel like this is where a lot of conversation can happen. You got the newest signing in Victor Olofsson and Jack Drury, as well as Ross Colton. Now, I'm actually pretty hyped for this line because Ross Colton, as we saw, and basically that everyone's kind of come to realize, he is fantastic at wing. He is so good that you really don't want to take him off of it. You look at Jack Drury, and really the only complaint you truly have is that he's not really a goal scorer. And the problem with that would be if he didn't have good goal-scoring wings, Olofsson and Ross Colton. Victor Olofsson is quite interesting to me because pretty much was a guy on his way out of the league. Vegas picked him up, played well, had good defense, and it was like, oh, this guy's actually a capable forward. Let's actually bring up Victor Olofsson because I think it's important to clear up some air on him. 29 points, pretty good defensively as well for the first time in his career. It was like, oh, wow, this guy can actually play defense. A lot of criticisms are that he's a power play merchant. But really, you look at this last season and no, not really. He had those 8 points on the power play when he did play, but that's still 21 even strength points at 5v5 in only 56 games. As a third liner, I'll take that every day for 1.5 million from Victor Olofsson. And why I'm so excited that Jack Drury is centering that line in the first place, well, you really look at it and you realize that Ross Colton cannot be the most talented guy on his line. He's a great shooter, can make good passes, but he shouldn't be driving play, and he's not a puck distributor. Neither is Victor Olofsson. He's not going to be driving. He's not a puck mover. He's a finisher. He's not going to be making a ton of passes. And that's where a guy like Jack Drury comes in. Jack Drury is a puck distributor. He excels at it. And we might say he doesn't have the highest goal scoring in the league. That's fine. He's got two guys that have had 20-goal seasons on his wings flanking him, which is perfect. I think give Jack Drury a shot. I really think this bottom six is mostly complete. Add in that Logan O'Connor isn't on here right now, and he'll come back. They say he's actually progressing quite well, so maybe November, fingers crossed if we're lucky. But really the only thing you're looking at this now is if Jack Drury can do the third line center job, okay, go get a fourth center. If Jack Drury can't, all right, go get a third line center because you know that Jack Drury can play fourth line center. Really not a ton of risk with this bottom six. And that leads me into what I want to talk about on the power play. Now, this is something I drew up. I think that MacKinnon and Necas should be on that half wall. I would like to see Necas be quite formless in how he plays. We see Connor McDavid do this. We see Nick Suzuki do this on their power plays where, especially with a great skater like Martin Necas, float in and around the offensive zone, confuse teams, make passes. Cale Makar obviously is your power play quarterback. Honestly, Val Nichushkin, amazing bumper player. So is Brock Nelson. So is Gabe Landeskog. You can try any of those three guys there. And I really think that Victor Olofsson should be on this power play. I think he should be your right time threat. I think that really he is the best suited individual for it. He also has one of the best shots in the entire league. He is one of the few that the goalie knows it's coming. Everyone knows he's going to shoot, but he still beats the goalie. A lot like Mikko Rantanen in that respect. Obviously, it's more of like a diet, zero sugar, gluten-free, nuke Coke version of Mikko Rantanen, but I still like Victor Olofsson in that right time spot. Why? Because he's left-handed. I think it's incredibly effective, and he creates a lot of rebounds with that shot. Guess who's pretty good at picking up rebounds? Val Nichushkin. Gabe Landeskog, Brock Nelson. They're only some of the best at it in the league. I think it's a recipe for success. And if teams start selling out to stop the pass to Victor Olofsson because they know it's going to be extra dangerous, you've got three guys with incredibly high hockey IQ in MacKinnon, Necas, and Makar that can probably make plays on the fly to account for that. Oh, they've got Victor Olofsson covered? Well, there's Cale Makar streaking in for a scoring chance. Or McKinnon's just going to shoot the puck and confuse the goalie. Or he'll drop it to Necas, who's going to skate around, confuse more players, maybe open up a shooting lane or a passing lane. You never know, but that is the potential of this power play, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you think Victor Olofsson should be on that power play? I am a strong advocate for it. But let's actually, one more thing that I want to talk about Victor Olofsson. He only has 9 games played, which was with Vegas because, spoiler alert, he never played playoffs with Buffalo. Hilarious. But he was actually pretty good. And when you look back at this lineup, I basically see this being pretty close to the 2022 team. Obviously, it's never going to reach those heights, with Victor Olofsson basically being your Burakovsky role guy, which is a guy that might even be healthy scratched, playing on that third line. But finally, you get to that fourth line. I don't like Parker Kelly at 4C. I think he was freed when he played on that fourth line wing. I like that Yoel Kiviranta is back, and really there are several guys that I think are a good option for that 4C spot. Zadakir Bardakov as well as Matt Steinberg are better options because I think Parker Kelly's a little too small, but also excels at wing so much that I would not want to see him at center. But it's an interesting conversation to have. Wrapping up here, I do want to talk about the defense. The top pair, one of the best top pairs in hockey, probably the best top pair when it comes to Canadians in general. They're going to be running it back in the Olympics, I guarantee you. It's this second pair that I have a problem with. We know that the Girard Manson pairing does not work. We have years of this data to prove this. It's not effective. They get scored on frequently. Josh Manson is here to stay. He signed his extension. They are not trading him. Sam Girard, I've talked about in length. I don't like him very much. I would prefer the Avs trade him, maybe for a third line center or a fourth line center. I just don't think it works. I don't think his playoff contributions are notable whatsoever. And I think that we've just come to the end of the experiment. It's the bottom pair that severely interests me. Sam Malinski is not playing his natural role as a right-handed defenseman, which kind of leads me to think he might be on the chopping block, especially as time goes on and his contract now expires at the end of this season. And if he plays well, he's going to be asking for more money. Brent Burns is incredibly interesting to me as well because I like the depth that he provides. Incredibly offensively gifted, really good on the penalty kill, which is hilarious because his defense actually sucks otherwise. So I think that's really funny that it works out that way. But I like Brent Burns as a signing, especially as a motivation for a guy that hasn't ever won a cup to come in, be this veteran presence, and he just works so hard. You can see videos floating around with him walking up with MacKinnon and Landeskog that are already at Family Sports Center, playing hockey, just kind of getting into the groove. And there he shows up looking like a pirate with his massive beard. I love how this lineup projects. Obviously, you got the woodshed in net, already proven, no complaints about them whatsoever. And you look at this lineup, and to close, I'll basically say that they're signed for all of this season, all of next season, and basically the next season after that. The only forward that kind of drops off and contract expires, unfortunately, is Arturi Lehkonen. I hope he stays. I hope we get the money worked out, but it's going to be a question. But outside of that, this lineup is locked and ready to rock. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the Avalanche going forward? Do you think there's any more moves left to make? I personally still think it's third line center. Love y'all. Let me know how you're doing, and I will see y'all in the next one.